Welcome everyone. Here in the previous classes we were discussing about the structure of DNA, as well as we have discussed in detail about the structure of DNA. We have discussed in detail about the RNA, what is RNA, different types of RNA. We have seen the structure of tRNA as well as mRNA, how it is formed. Now here we'll move on to another topic, that is the packaging of the DNA. We already know that DNA is the genetic material. DNA is the genetic material which is present inside the nucleus of the eukaryotic cell. DNA is the genetic material which we found inside the living cells. Here structure of the DNA, that is the nucleic acid, the DNA structure was given, how the structure of DNA is it was given by Watson and Crick. The structure of DNA was given by Watson and Crick. According to Watson and Crick, DNA is a double helical structure. DNA is a helical mode, that is DNA is helical double. Here it is having two strands. DNA have two strands, and here if I draw this is one strand and this is another strand. Okay, here this one, if the strands is from if I take it here, if I take the strand, the third end, it will be the third end will be free here, and here fifth end will be free. And here if we take this strand, here fifth end will be free and here third end will be free. That is, DNA is made up of double strands, and here both the strands are anti-parallel to each other. Parallel means going side by side, but they are anti-parallel. If it is going in three, that is, if the third carbon is free here and at the end fifth carbon will be free. Okay, here in the sense, if I say if it is parallel means it will be like this. Okay, here also 3 dash 5 dash, but here I said that is the strands are anti-parallel, means here if it is the third carbon is free at the start and at the end of the strand fifth carbon will be free of this first strand. Okay, now coming to the second strand, if it is anti-parallel means here if at the start the third carbon is free, then here at the start fifth carbon will be free, and here at the end third carbon will be free. Okay, so the backbone, that is these strands are made up of sugar and phosphate. The strands are made up of sugar, that is the skeleton of the strands is made up of sugar and phosphate. Sugar and phosphate. Here we have seen this one, sugars, like this structure was there, we have seen, and here nitrogenous base is there at this fifth carbon. To this fifth carbon phosphate group is attached. So this is the sugar and this is the phosphate, and this is the nitrogenous base. This is the nitrogenous base. Here also then again it is joined, that is the skeleton is made up of sugar and phosphate, and in between this here if I say anti-parallel means like this it will come. Okay, so this is the first carbon. Here nitrogenous group will be present. Nitrogenous group will be present. For example, if this nitrogenous group is A, then this nitrogenous group will be T, because adenine always pairs with thymine. Okay, so here if I take another one, then here if it is G, guanine it is, then here it will be C. Here it will always be C. This is the sugar, this is the phosphate, and this is the nitrogenous group, and there is base, that is pairing is there. Nitrogenous base pairing is there. Guanine always pairs with cytosine, adenine always pairs with thymine. This we have already seen, and here the distance between these two strands is 20 angstroms. The distance between these two strands is 20 angstrom, and here if it takes certain, here In this one turn, when the strand takes a turn, when it moves, helical structure is there now. So here if it takes one turn, then the distance is 34 angstroms. 34 angstroms, that is the distance from, if I start, it is coil structure now. If I start from here, if it goes around and then comes around again then it will be a one turn total, and the distance is 34 angstroms. And in this distance now, how many? This is one base pair, this is another base pair, this is another, then fourth. So in one turn we find 10 base pairs. Okay, in one turn we find 10 base pairs, and in one turn we have said, that is we have already seen that one long groove will be there and one short groove, that is shallow groove and deep groove will be present. The distance between these two strands is 20 angstroms, and if it take turn it will be 34 angstroms, and here 10 will be there. So basically the distance between these two will be 3.4 angstroms. The distance between these two base pairs will be 3.4. Then this two will be 3.4. Then this two will be 3.4. So base pairing will be this is the skeleton, and this acts, these bases act as the bridge. They act as the bridge. And here for adenine always pairs with thymine, and this pairing is because of the hydrogen bond. Here double bond will be there, and C always pairs with G. This will be 3 hydrogen bonds. They will be paired with 3 hydrogen bonds, and they will be paired with 2 hydrogen bonds. Adenine always pairs with thymine. Guanine always pairs with cytosine. So guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds, and adenine pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds. So here the distance between, in one turn we get 10 base pairs. In one turn we get 10 base pairs. So here if we calculate this now, here the length of the DNA will be approximately 2.2 meters. The length of the DNA, if I start and here, the length of the DNA will be approximately 2.2 meters. We have 3 billions in a DNA, we have 3 billion base pairs. If we calculate it with this distance now, then we will get this length. So here the length of the DNA in a eukaryotic cell, so the length of the DNA is approximately 2.2 meters. So which is very lengthy, and here which is this 2.2 meters is very larger than the nucleus. Nucleus inside, for example, this is the cell. This is a cell. In the middle of the cell we find the nucleus. Inside the nucleus we have this genetic material, that is DNA. Inside the nucleus it is present. So here the length of this is 2.2 meters approximately. 2.2 meters approximately. See here, the cell is very small. It is microscopic. We cannot even see with our microscope. And inside that cell we have nucleus, which is even more smaller than the cell. We can't see the cell with our naked eyes only. Then how come the nucleus is even smaller the cell? Then how come this such long DNA, that is approximately 2.2 meters long DNA, will get inside this nucleus? What happens? This DNA condenses. That is the nuclear material, the DNA condenses itself. So it is packed in the sense that it comes inside this nucleus. So the whole thing, that is, it is 2.2 meters length of DNA is there approximately. So this has to be accommodated into the nucleus, which is very small, very minute nucleus is there, and this 2.2 meters of the DNA has to be accommodated inside that small nucleus. Then how it is done? So it is basically the packaging of the DNA, how DNA is packed, how this is wrapped inside this nucleus. So that is basically the packaging of DNA. Okay, so DNA in prokaryotic cells. In prokaryotic cells we don't find the nucleus. In prokaryotic cell, that is all bacteria, as example E. coli. It is a prokaryotic bacteria, prokaryotic cell. Here the DNA is scattered. We don't find nucleus in prokaryotic cells. Nucleus is not present. For example, if this is the cell, the DNA will be scattered inside the cell. There is no need of packaging and all. The DNA will be just scattered inside the cell. Okay. So these DNA, already know that DNA is slightly acidic in nature. DNA is slightly acidic in nature. So this acidic DNA will be held in one region. It will be scattered, but mostly it will be held in one region with the help of the proteins, which are positive in nature. DNA is acidic. So this acidic DNA is held in the prokaryotic cell. This acidic DNA is held in a region by the positive proteins, and that region is called as nucleoid. Nucleoid is the region where the DNA is held together by proteins. Place inside the cell where the DNA is held together by the proteins. That region or that place or that space is called as nucleoid. Okay. So now in eukaryotic cells, it is a very well developed cell. We find nucleus inside the eukaryotic cell. All the other organelles are also present inside the eukaryotic cell. So here in this, nucleus is present, so which makes this packaging a very complicated. As inside the eukaryotic cell, we find the nucleus. And inside this nucleus, this length, this 2.2 meters of length has to be accommodated. So it is very complex. The packaging is very complex. Now coming to this, how this is packaged, how the packaging of DNA is done. So before going to this, here we'll see, we have seen this is the chromatin. DNA is scattered here, it is in the form of chromatin. That is 5 thread-like structures. We see this. We see inside the cell, nucleus is present. Inside the nucleus, we see the small thread-like, bundle-like structure. So that bundle-like structure is nothing but it is called as chromatin. It is called as chromatin, which is basically nothing but the genetic material. Okay, genetic material. As this chromatin, that is this one, 2.2 meters, genetic material. Chromatin is just nothing but genetic material. So this has to be condensed. In order to fit inside this nucleus, this chromatin has to be condensed. So when it condenses now, when this thread-like structure condenses now, so here when it condenses now, it gives thickenings. These thickenings are nothing but the chromatin condenses. Condenses means coming together. So that chromatin condenses. For example, this was very lengthy. Now, in order to make it short, now this condensed. Now, it has changed to this because of the condensing. Instead of this much length, we have got this much. So, because of this condensing, now we are seeing the thickenings. These thickenings are nothing but the condensing of this chromatin. The chromatin has condensed. The chromatin has condensed, came together. Because of that, the thickening is seen. This thickening is nothing but it is a condensed chromatin, which we call it as nucleosome. This thickenings or the condensed chromatin, we call it as the nucleosome. We call it as nucleosome. So this nucleosome, this large 2.2 meters of genetic material, that is when it is in the resting stage, it is the chromatin. So when this chromatin condenses now, it forms thickenings. These thickenings are called as the nucleosome. So now let us see what is inside this thickenings. What actually is nucleosome made up of? So this nucleosome is made up of histone proteins. Nucleosome is basically made up of histone proteins plus DNA wrapped around it. We said that when chromatin condenses, we find this thickenings like this. So what is inside this thickening? This thickening is the nucleosome. So what is inside the nucleosome? Nucleosome consists of two things. Nucleosome consists of two things. First is histone proteins. Histone proteins plus DNA. Histone proteins plus DNA. We have an octamer of histone proteins. Octamer means 8. A ball of 8 balls of 8 proteins will be there. Okay, basically you just see here nucleosome. This thickening is nothing but nucleosome. This nucleosome is made up of histone proteins plus DNA. This nucleosome is nothing but histone proteins plus DNA. Okay, these histone proteins are positively charged, whereas DNA is slightly negatively charged. Histone proteins are positively charged, and these histone proteins are basically, proteins are nothing but they are made up of amino acids. Proteins are nothing but they are made up of amino acids. Okay, so it is a polymer of amino acid. So in this histone proteins, this histone protein is rich in two amino acids, that is lysine and arginine. Lysine and arginine, which are basically positive in nature, a little positive in nature. So histone is nothing but histone protein. As it is protein, it is made up of amino acids. So which amino acids it is made up of? It is made up of lysine and arginine. It is made up of lysine, and it mostly consists of lysine and arginine. Okay, so nucleosome consists of histone proteins plus DNA. You just remember this. Nucleosome consists of histone proteins plus DNA wrapped around that. Okay, so now histone proteins are there. So here in this now we have 4 types of histone proteins. In nucleosome we find 4 types of histone proteins. The first type is H2A. The first type of histone protein is H2A, H2B. Then the third is H3, H4. We said that nucleosome is made up of histone. So histone is of different types. Histone proteins is of different types. So in this now we find 4 types of histone proteins here. Okay, the first type of histone protein is H2A, the second is H2B, the third is H3, and the fourth is H4. All of them are 2, that is 2H2A. All of them. So are 2 in number, into 2, that is 2H2A. That is 2H2A. See here, this is one histone protein. How many are there? 4 na? 1 type, 2 type, 3 type, and the 4th type. This is H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. So 4 proteins, and I said each of them are 2 in number. H2, 2. This is this front, and at the back we find again H2A. This H2B at the back, H2B. Then here H3, and here we find H4. So 2 H2A proteins, 2 H2B proteins, 2 H3 proteins, and 2 H4 proteins. For example, if this is H2A, this is H2B. Okay, so behind it we find one more H2A. We find one more H2A. Here one more H2B. So like this 4. Okay, then we have got again H3 and H4. I don't have that much pens here. So here basically, for example, if this is H3A, if this is H3A, if this is H2A, H2B, H3, H4. Okay, from the front. Now at the back also I find this. At the back also I find this. This is H2A, this is H2A, H2B, H2B, H3, H3, H4, H4. So like this 8 proteins join together and form an octamer. Octo means 8. 8 proteins, 8 histone proteins are joined together and they are forming a ball-like structure. 8 histone proteins joined together, they are forming a ball-like structure. Okay, so this is histone octamer. This is histone octamer. Octo means 8. So 8 histone proteins together combining and forming a ball-like structure. And on these here the DNA is wrapped around it. You just see this. This is the DNA is wrapped. DNA is wrapped around it. Double-stranded, sorry. So DNA is wrapped around this. Okay. So this is the DNA, this is the histone octamer, and the DNA is wrapped around this histone octamer. Okay. So now the DNA is of two types. We find the DNA is of two types. One is core DNA and the another is linker DNA. Linker DNA. The DNA which is wrapped around this ball. The DNA which is wrapped around this ball, this DNA is called as core DNA. The DNA which is wrapped around this ball, this is called as core DNA. And the DNA which is here, for example, this is one octamer. I'll draw this one. This is one octamer. This is another octamer. This is another octamer. Okay. Inside this, I'll draw this one. 4. Then at the back also 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. Then at the back 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 histone proteins. Okay. Now here it is the DNA is wrapped around this like this. And again. Okay, this is DNA is wrapped around this, like this DNA will be wrapped. So the DNA which is wrapped around this ball, this DNA is called as core DNA, and this one is called as this link. That is the DNA which is linking this one octamer with the another. So this one is called as linker DNA. Core DNA and the linker DNA. Now you understood these thickenings. See here, this is this one and this thickening this one, then again this one. So like this we find the thickenings. So actually this thickening is nothing but histone octamer and DNA. Histone octamer and DNA. So here this is by this condensing, by the condensation of this chromatin, that is this length of that is the DNA of approximately 2.2 length is being condensed and being accommodated inside the nucleus. So this is how the that is DNA is packed inside the nucleus. We all know where is the genetic material present? It is inside the nucleus of the cell. How it is accommodated? Because of the condensation of the chromatin like this, because of this condensation now. So here it's like this. If you see it now, you will see like this. You will see like this. So this 2.2 whole together is being condensed into a smaller structure and fit inside the nucleus. So these thickenings are basically nothing but the nucleosome. So each nucleosome consists of a histone octamer plus DNA wrapped around it. So for wrapping the DNA, it takes 1/3. 1/3. It takes one turn. It takes one turn. Here one, then again this 3/4. So it takes 1/3/4 turns DNA to wrap around this histone octamer. So this is how DNA is packed inside the nucleus. The long DNA, which is of 2.2 meters, is packed inside the nucleus of the eukaryotic cell. In the next we will see we said that DNA is the genetic material. How can we say the DNA is the genetic material? Scientists have done various experiments which has proved that DNA is the genetic material. So in the next class we will see what are those experiments which help the scientists to say that the DNA is the genetic material of the organisms.